Hello, friends. You remember the story of Lot and his two daughters that I told of recent? Today, I brought a similar story to that. So, there was a man that lived in Gibeah from the descendants of Ephraim who has a concubine that is from Bethlehem in Judea. They were both living in Gibeah. You will find this story in the book of Judges, chapter 19. At this time, the Israelites were not having kings. There were no kings in the whole land of Israel at this time. So they were only having judges. Remember, it was at this period that they also had Deborah. So it happened that the concubine of this man is unfaithful. You know, that chapter called him a whore. She lives the life of a whore. And so on a certain day, she demanded to go and visit her father, which means she was going to travel from Gibeah or Gibeah, whichever way you pronounce it, to Bethlehem in Judah. So she left. But she didn't return. After 4 months, her boyfriend decided to go and look for her. So on getting to Bethlehem, he was well received by the father of his concubine. In fact, the man started calling him son-in-law. So hosted him properly and he stayed for 2 nights. He was supposed to leave on the third night, but the father of the bride, of the concubine, persuaded him to stay for one more day. He stayed, making it 3 days. On the third day, he prepared to go again, and the father of the concubine still persuaded him to stay for one more night. He stayed, they were all eating and making merry. He stayed till the fifth day. While he was preparing to leave on the fifth day, after they had eaten till later in the afternoon, the father of the concubine was still telling him to stay till the next day again. The man said, no be juju be that. No, he's not staying, he's going back to where he came from. But not without his girlfriend. The two of them prepared and left. It was supposed to be a short journey, not a very long one. But I think they were supposed to sleep over a night before they get to Gibeah. So when they got to Jebus, a city before they get to their own, it was night and they decided to sleep in a hotel. But just like all the hotels, were everything was fully booked. There was no place for them to go in. And so they were sitting at the town square. In those days, strangers or travelers that are looking for where to sleep stay in city centers. Like it's like when you come into a plaza or a park, and you can easily identify a traveler that is stranded by the way he will be sitting, at that hall with all his luggage. In this case now, donkeys and aces and whatever thing they had with them. And then one man was coming back from work and saw them. I was like, "Oh, you are stranded. No hotel to book." And they were like, "No, we have waited. We have tried everywhere. You know, it's fully booked." And the stranger was saying, "And I have everything. It's not like we're going to stress them. I have the food for myself, for my woman, and for my servants. I equally have food for my animals. So we're not going to burden anybody." So the man said, "Come with me." And they went to the man's house to pass the night. The man said, "Don't worry, even if you don't have, I will provide you with what to eat." So they got to the house. As soon as they were getting to the house, men of the city surrounded the house and started knocking on the door, trying to break the door and telling the man to bring out those guys they saw that entered his house so that they will sleep with them. And the man was like, "That's so ridiculous. You can't do this to my visitors because they are under my protection at this time. Instead of that, let me bring out my virgin girl for you guys to sleep with. If that is not enough, the man, my visitor, also came with his concubine. We can equally bring her out to you, two of them. You guys can sleep with them the whole night." Just exactly the way Lot did. And they refused, they insisted, but somehow along the way, they were eventually convinced. That passage didn't tell us again that the man's virgin daughter was taken out. They only now told us that the concubine of the visitor was thrown out to these wolves outside and they slept with her the whole night. After dealing with the poor girl, she couldn't even walk, but she managed to get herself to the door of their house. She fainted at the door and was there the whole night till morning. Her boyfriend wasn't worried about her, didn't look for her. The passage said that the man got up to continue with his journey in the morning, and that was how he saw the girlfriend, lying flat at the door. He called her name a few times. She didn't answer. He touched her. She didn't respond. He picked her up and put her on the donkey, and they continued their journey. When they got to Gibeah or to Gibeah, the man kept the woman on the floor and cut her into 12 pieces and sent each part to the 12 tribes of Israel. And the people were wondering, what sort of behavior is this? This has never happened in our land. We need to report. So now I'm asking, please, can someone explain to this layperson here that just read this story from the Bible and couldn't make sense out of it? What is it about offering virgin daughters to wolves, to rapists? Is it that gayism and homosexuality and all of this were the order of the day at the time of this story? Is it that the life of women is worth nothing? Is it that it doesn't matter what happens to them? What is it about offering girls to rapists that have come to, you know, take advantage of a man? Is it that the asshole of the man is more precious than the vagina of the woman that will be defiled? Virgins, for that matter. And what is it about this man from the tribe of Levi taking someone's daughter and cutting her into several pieces? I don't understand. Is it that he was nursing grievances and bitterness against the woman, and he went all the way to her father's house to bring her to her death? I don't get it, because I know that the passage reported that the woman is unfaithful, but she had gone. She had left. He went and brought her back only to kill her. And along the way he was really referring to her as this woman and even offering for her to be raped and all of that was making me worry. At the point where their host also offered his own daughter, I was like, okay, maybe this is their normal style. If you have a visitor or someone trying to intrude, you can calm the person by offering your daughter or your wife as cool not to the person. I understood that some cultures in Africa do this also. So I guess they got that idea from Bible stories, because we have now seen that it was normal for them to offer their daughters or their wives to people to sleep with. This woman gave her life in exchange for yours. You went in to sleep and she was dealt with the whole night. The least you could do was to show sympathy in the morning, pick her up, help her dress, nurse her injuries, give her medications if she needs one, send her to hospital. She was almost raped to death. You took her back and cut her into pieces. Why? What for? If the man felt that this lady was no longer good enough, couldn't he had sent her back to her father's compound? If there are lessons you learned from this, please share them at the comment section, because I am very lost. I don't know what the story is about. I don't know the lesson I am supposed to learn from it. To me, this story is not supposed to be found in the Bible. But guess, what do I know? I'll see you on the next one. My name is Vivian, and if you like my videos, please share and follow for more. Bye.